President Ramaphosa, thank you from us all. What a very moving and powerful message from a man of peace. Thank you, sir. And now time for our closing address. I give you the President of the Global Humanitarian Forum, Kofi Annan, to...
Thank you very much, Jose Ramos-Horta, President of Timor-Leste. You gave us a powerful statement, but also put us through a sort of reality therapy, telling us what is likely not to happen. And it's just like you to be very practical and very down to earth. I remember one of the phrases I picked up during your independence struggle when we were working together in East Timor was that tomorrow begins today, and you should not wait to act. And I can see even on the issue of climate change and development, you are not waiting for others, you are pressing ahead, respecting that phrase. Dear friends, let me start by thanking you for coming to this forum and for all the energy and commitment you've shown over the last 2 days. We came together this year to highlight the human impact of climate change. We have heard from nations across the world, from political leaders, from representatives of civil society and business, from the young leaders of tomorrow, the leaders of 21st century who gave us their views, who also held their own forum, including an 11-year-old who yesterday told us, if you can do it, we are ready. The diversity of people and organizations who have contributed to our discussions underscores a fundamental truth about climate change, that it is truly global. It's truly a global problem, one whose impact is already being felt today. For some nations and communities, these consequences are immediate and frightening. We heard yesterday in a speech which will have left a lasting impression about what it means to be living on the front line in the battle against climate change. President Anote Tong of the Republic of Kiribati pointed out that his small island, like others around the world, is shrinking alarmingly as sea levels rise. Recognizing that homes and livelihoods are bound to disappear, the President's government has put in place a process to manage orderly migration. We will, I'm afraid, need many more such innovative responses and urgently if we are to manage the diverse challenges of climate change. We need action on two fronts, mitigation and adaptation. This requires leadership, courage, and resources. Our discussions have also underlined that adaptation requires significant financial resources. This may be more easily secured if poorer nations can speak collectively about their climate needs. I hope that the ongoing work of the Global Humanitarian Forum and similar bodies can provide a platform for solidarity on this issue. We have also heard from how people's human rights to clean water, sanitation, food and housing are being undermined by climate change. Women and children, as we've heard, are always the hardest hit. We need urgent action to protect the world's poor from the effects of climate change. But if there is one key message that I would like to come out of this conference, it is that none of us is immune from its impact. Everyone and every country has a responsibility. Yes, Some may be more responsible than others, but we are all in this together. A failure to recognize that could be one of the costliest mistakes we ever make. My dear friends, we all understand the urgency of this challenge. It is truly time to stop talking and to take action. But what should we do? Let me focus on 3 actions that have emerged from our discussions over the last 2 days. First, as individuals, we must all play our part. As consumers, we have the power to make the right choices. We have the power to put pressure on manufacturers and companies by the decisions and the choices we make. But the private sector and businessmen must also take the lead and become more sustainable. They have a major contribution to make. This will involve, for all of us, difficult decisions and in some cases, significant sacrifices in terms of changing our production and consumption patterns. Nobody said addressing the climate change would be easy, but action is necessary. Second, the forum will be publishing the outcomes of this meeting. We hope that these findings, together with the Human Impact Report, will serve as an important point of reference for concerted action. Ultimately, the most urgent action lies with world leaders. It is our leaders who have the responsibility and the power to put in place a new framework for reducing carbon emissions in Copenhagen in December. The agreement they strike must be based on climate justice. It must be global, it must be fair, and it must be binding. It must have at its heart the principle that pollution has a price and that the polluter must pay. It must recognize the world's poorest are carrying the heaviest burden for a problem that they have done least to create. It is up to each of us to ensure that our leaders do not squander this historic opportunity. We must keep building the pressure to secure urgent action at Copenhagen and beyond.